both sides, for the most part, want to see it just remain about the sport, not about politics.
Brett Favre has many thoughts.
I mean, I don't know what led to that video that we saw where his knee is on his neck.
From George Floyd.
I want to watch all the important parts to the game, not what's going on outside of the game.
To telling athletes to
shut up and dribble.
By no means are any of us perfect. But, I'm the furthest thing from a racist. I think I'm a pretty good guy who cares about other people as well.
And claiming he is for the people. Meanwhile,
in court documents and audit reports, the state alleges that the head of Mississippi's welfare agency squandered more than $70 million intended for children in poverty.
New text messages show the pressure former NFL quarterback Brett Favre was putting on then Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant. Favre requested money for an indoor football practice facility.
In a different text exchange, Favre asking New, "If you were to pay me, is there any way the media can find out where it came from?" These new court documents filed by Bryant's attorneys allege Favre and former nonprofit director Nancy New, who has already pleaded guilty to fraud in the $77 million scheme, were requesting funds from the Mississippi Department of Human Services to build the facility.
And $5 million to build this women's volleyball facility at the University of Southern Mississippi. That building with ties to an NFL Hall of Famer. Brett Favre's daughter played volleyball at the university. Text messages obtained by Mississippi Today show Favre saying he helped secure government grant money for a new arena. And he personally was paid more than $1 million to give 3 motivational speeches that never happened.
That's from State Auditor Shad White, a Phil Bryant appointee. To reiterate, in my view, we already had the smoking gun.
He then texted New the following: "If you were to pay me, is there any way the media can find out where it came from and how much?" New responded, "No, we never had that information publicized."
And the journalist who broke the story, Anna Wolf, put it rather bluntly.
So this is money from a fund called Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, which most people know as the welfare check. This is cash assistance to very poor families in Mississippi. The scandal has been unfolding for over 2 years, and all along the way, when we're uncovering how $77 million was either stolen or misspent, the major players in the scheme, namely former Governor Phil Bryant and Brett Favre, have sort of tried to make excuses for their involvement. As you said, Brett Favre says he doesn't know that it was welfare money that he was using for this project. But, the more that we've gotten information that's come out, the more we've been able to piece together that this was an orchestrated scheme to take money from a federal fund that's supposed to serve the poorest residents in the poorest state in the country and use it for whatever they wanted.
Until now, we had limited knowledge of current Governor Tate Reeves's involvement. However, text messages appear to show what he knew. For context, MDHS sent $5 million in TANF welfare funds to USM, Favre's alma mater, to build a volleyball facility on campus, with his daughter Bray Lee attending in the fall of 2017. Despite the generously illicit handout, Favre was still $1.6 million short in financing the project. That year, Reeves, not yet governor, as his predecessor, was still in office. Fast forward, though, to January 2020, just shy of a global pandemic. Favre texted Bryant the following: "Governor, can you think of anyone or any other way of getting funding for the remainder of V-Ball?" Bryant responded that Auditor White was conducting an investigation into misspending at the Department of Human Services, but that Favre may have to visit the Lieutenant Governor, that being Delbert Hosemann, and now Governor Tate Reeves. Bryant also recommended Senator Briggs Hobson, seen here, who is in the Mississippi State Senate. Wow, I just sent Tate a message. Should I do the same with Briggs and Delbert? Favre asks. Bryant: I would also call them. On January 27th, Favre texted Tate Reeves, "Hey bud, we set to talk today at 2, Todd said." Reeves, thumbs up emoji. "Favre, you free?" At 2:01 p.m. Reeves said, yes, sir. At 3:55, Favre texted Reeves in an obvious follow-up to their call. Failed to mention, but there will be state programs using the facility like seminars, teen rallies, obesity campaigns, etc. Again, thanks. I know you have many requests. Reeves did not respond. At 7:15 the next day, Favre texted Reeves once again. And name it after Governor Bryant. What's important is what we don't see. The text messages that Governor Reeves' office sent in response to the publication's public records request for text between him and Favre, however, do not include any text on January 26, 2020. The first one in the batch of documents is dated January 27th, 2020 at 11:49 a.m. The Mississippi Free Press asked the governor's office about the discrepancy on Wednesday. On Friday morning, Public Records Compliant Officer Shelby Wilcher said they reviewed the production and no text messages were left out. This is a huge red flag, a humongous red flag. Please keep this in mind as we go forward. Fast forward, though, to February 5th, 2020. John Davis, the Mississippi Department of Human Services director, was arrested. Davis had a rejection rate of 98% for needy families who applied for government assistance. Nancy New and her son Zach were also arrested, plus 3 others. After the arrests, Favre texted Governor Reeves Tate, a classmate of Deanna, as in Favre's wife, and myself, Desmond Hoda, as a candidate for chiropractic board, and asked if I would put a good word in. I wouldn't if I didn't think he was worthy. Not sure how good a chiropractor he is, but he's a hell of a guy. Then, of course, he mentioned the volleyball project he still owed money on, because how could he not? Also, Deanna and I want to show you the facility, and it would only be us. I want you to see what you're trying to help me for. Oh, Todd said y'all may go to the concert Friday. If so, we may tag along, and if time permits, we'll show you the facility. Great timing. We were just talking about Hoda earlier today. I will definitely appoint him based on your recommendation, or really Deanna's. Signed, TR as in Tate Reeves. Favre responded, well said. Favre, appearing impatient as he has shown to be, texted Bryant, Governor, have you spoken to Tate? He said he was going to get with his team and figure something out. Bryant replied, this has been the problem. Not sure what funding will be available in the future. That article is the following from the Mississippi Center for Public Policy, a piece that ran in February of 2020, showing Shad White and his team are arresting folks involved. Favre responded, yeah, I'm well aware of it. Per the Mississippi Free Press, Favre quickly pivoted back to his search for volleyball funds. I think the angle Tate is looking at is a bond bill, according to blank. You think that has a chance? Bryant told him that bond bills can sure be used for brick and mortar projects. That is unlike TANF funds, which the law prohibits from being used for brick and mortar projects. Anything I can do? Favre asked Bryant. May want to meet with Tate when you can, the ex-governor said. I did, and he said he would get with his team, Favre wrote. Bryant responded as follows, then just have to wait till a bond bill is drafted and hope you make the list. The Mississippi Free Press requested copies of Governor Reeves' calendars from January and February 2020, but they do not list any phone calls or meetings with Favre. The entry for Friday, February 7, 2020, the day Favre offered to give Reeves a tour of the USM volleyball facility, is blank. The bond bill never came, but Desmond Hoda's confirmation did, unanimously at that.